What up, everybody? How you all doing today? I hope you're all having a very good day. I'm sorry we're a little bit late here on the music and mayhem hour, but you know what, guys? It's been a very busy day. It's been a very busy weekend. I'm sure we've all got life and stuff that we all have to deal with. Just shit that comes up. So I apologize, guys, that we are running a little bit late here, but it's okay because while I was getting everything set up and ready, I got to go over and watch Rod the Rican. I was watching his comic community shout out show. That was really, really nice to watch. While I was getting everything ready, I went for a nice, good long bike ride this morning and got here, and I really needed the ride this morning. I really needed it. I was only planning for a 2-hour ride and I ended up getting to about 3 hours. So, which is what I really needed was the 3 hours. But yeah, and I really needed to get that ride in, guys, because we've got some important announcements already about the show. We've only really been doing this for a couple of weeks, but we're already got some updates and things that we're going to be doing to the show here on the channel. And guys, like, Rich is no longer going to be on the show with us. He hasn't really been a good contributor to the show. Plus, I mean, I don't even really like the guy anyways. Like, he's like a guy I've known since I was a teenager. Like, I mean, I guess really since I was a little kid. I've known him for a very long time, actually. But we just don't really vibe together. And like, he didn't really contribute to the show. He didn't really contribute to the show, so we're going to be moving forward without him. So in place of that, we do have somebody else that we're going to be adding to the show. And here we go. Here's who we're. Oh, dang it!
You were saying?
But really, guys, we do have some updates that I think we're gonna change a little bit of things here on the show. Now, in case you guys don't already know, a good friend here of the show, a channel called Fanjecture. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them. You should definitely go check out Fanjecture. They do every Wednesday. Adam does this really cool, like, NBA tournament style bracket thing with movies, talking about movies and things, and you kind of rank them, and you get to go in there and vote and place your vote. Well, we're stealing his shit. All right? That's what it comes down to. We're stealing his shit. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take his idea and we're gonna steal it. But we're gonna do it with music, not movies.
He didn't get a patent on that like he should have.
Yeah, I know, because it's a great idea. But really, go subscribe to Fanjecture's channel. It does some really cool stuff over there. If you like movies and you want to cast your vote on some of these movies and the topics they're doing, you guys should definitely go check out Fanjecture's channel. But yeah, we've seen this idea, when we're on there, I go on there, every week, voting and all that kinds of stuff on these movies and stuff. And Rich here was on there and he's seen it too. He's like, man, we need to do that with the music show. I was like, hell yeah, we do. So we may start doing something. I want to get all that stuff figured out and gear it towards that, where we'll rank maybe certain bands, maybe 90s metal bands, 90s grunge bands, maybe 90s hip hop, maybe 90s trip hop, maybe I'm just making shit up now, but
go on the just go ahead and tell us in the comments what you want us to do, and we will run it through corporate and see what we can get approved for.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe your favorite Metallica albums.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. Keep it down to one band, and there's a lot of things you can do with it.
It's definitely, because it's something really cool that, like I said, Fanjecture. I'm sure it's probably not like a super original idea. I mean, hell, it's just ranking them, but it's very fun. It's very cool. I think it would be something definitely to add a lot of fun here to the show, doing something like that for you guys. And soon enough, hopefully we'll have another co-host here on the show as well. Just trying to get some things sorted out as far as technology is concerned, because in case you guys don't know, technology, it can be a real bitch. It can. But
technology.
Technology. Who all we got here? We got Mark Spector Comics says first. Well, thank you for being here, Mark Spector. Rob Boswell is here as well. Thank you for being here. Kueball says lame excuse. Oh, come on, man. What were you doing this morning? Mark Spector says, hey, Rob and Kueball. And Kueball is the guy here on the show with us, by the way, in case you guys didn't know.
That's me. So talking shit in the comments, you know who it is. You put a face to it.
Rob Boswell says, howdy, Mark. Looks at clock. Nice of you to show up. Yeah, I know. We're running like way late. Like, this is almost an hour late. almost an hour late. Yo, afternoon, folks. Downright Nerdy podcast. Yeah, I seen they actually just premiered a video as well over there on Downright Nerdy podcast. Make sure you guys go check it out. They do some pretty nice little podcasts over there. You should definitely go. It's always fun, It's a big long, They do these nice long podcasts. It's always just fun to hear nerds talk about nerdy shit. Mark Spector is saying hi. Who else we got here? Good luck with copyrights and YouTube and music. Well, we won't be able to play the music on the show, but what we'll do is we'll just rank the albums and the artists and things like that. That's really all it's coming down to, and you guys will get to vote on who.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy's watched the last several shows, but we've been talking about music and we haven't played any, so we're safe.
Yeah. Yeah, because it really does kind of suck. But now the thing is
you can do it, but it's tricky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, really, you got to find songs that aren't going to get blocked worldwide, because they're copyrighted. But the other thing is really the worst thing that happens if they can allow you to use the music and stuff in there, but they put a copyright claim on it. So it's not anything bad against your channel. It's just you can't make money off of that video because you got their music in it, which to me is fine if I could play the damn music. To me that's fine if I can, as long as I can play their music. I don't mind that, as long as it doesn't get blocked. But that's the thing, you got to go into like the YouTube studio and check all that kinds of stuff out, because they have a list in there like of songs, and you can look them up and it'll say if it's blocked worldwide, if it's blocked in your country, this and that. Like, I actually found a couple of songs out there that aren't blocked, even here in the United States, that I could put in certain things. Yeah, I think there's like one Faith No More song that I found.
That's what I was going to ask. Was it Faith No More? Was it Epic?
No, I think maybe it was Evidence.
Oh, okay.
It might have been Evidence. But yeah, the copyrights, they suck, man. It kind of sucks. But like I said, like if they'll at least allow me to play the music in there, I don't care about a copyright claim. That's fine. They can claim it and make the money from from this hour show or hour and a half show. I mean, big deal, I mean, we got awesome people like Aggressively Relaxing here that says my horrible parody music gets claimed by people all the time, right? Or we've got awesome people that during the meantime, as long as we can play music, send in awesome $2 shots like I'm True Skills and Trinity. Hope all is good. All is good. I am True Skills. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've been kind of quiet these past few days. Just yesterday, I was gonna do some vlogs because it was my daughter's birthday and we went out to Universal.
Oh, that's right.
I had a good time, but I'm bad at vlogging.
We caught the ire of fan gesture. Sorry, dude.
What were the changes and updates? Well, we started with Rich is off the show, but he's back for some reason.
I bullied my way back in.
King for a Day, yes, great album, great album. Some would argue their best album, but they would be wrong.
I would argue.
Ooh. I would argue it.
I think we've had this discussion.
Ooh, what a couple of hacks, says Fancheck. Yes, we're stealing your stuff. We're commandeering it. We're not really stealing it. We're just commandeering it. It's a little different. It's a little different. Yeah, just don't block it. Yeah, I was gonna say it really just depends on what they do on it. You got to look those kinds of things up, and sometimes it can be a headache. I had audio from another video get claimed by some scammers who put that audio to a music track. Huh. That's odd. Yeah, there's people out there that they do some good. They do like the music stuff. It's really weird, man. Like you get the claims and you gotta file back against them. I think it's their best album. Maybe this is the one we've got to do is Faith No More albums in the first place, but it's really hard to say because you know what? There's an album out there that came out before that. It's called Angel Dust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I always get to.
With the
I always catch flack when I say that because they bring up Angel Dust, and it's kind of hard to say something they did something better than that because that's so great. But I'm gonna stick to my guns. King for a Day, for a lot of reasons.
Ooh. Ooh, did you guys see this cup I got? I got this cup yesterday because I needed a new coffee cup. But right let's take Chris' comment off of there because he's wrong. It says, just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. Yeah, and it's true. Look, don't. Anyway, what were the changes? Oh, okay, we're already past that. I missed the Mr. Bungle show last week in LA. Yeah, so did we. Because damn scammers got on there and
yeah. You know the funny thing about that? I watched the footage of it. And I didn't recognize any of the stuff because it's like all from their very first like demo stuff. It's weird. They played it was like real aggressive thrash stuff. Like they didn't play any of the stuff like off of, say, for instance, California or any of the other ones that I was familiar with. So that was kind of cool. And it looked like it was Scott Ian playing guitar.
Really?
Yeah, Scott Ian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so that's probably why they played. There's like, I want to play some good riffs, guys.
Yeah.
I don't play for you, but
Yeah, and maybe we could go ahead and get into that. Maybe we could get into some Faith No More talk. Since we're here talking about stuff, because I mean, arguably, I think Angel Dust is their best album. Now, my favorite is probably King for a Day, and we could go around and around on circles about that all day because. Just like the Deftones thing we were talking the other week, like I think Deftones' best album is probably their first album, but my favorite is their self-titled one,
White Pony. White Pony.
Yeah, you're wrong.
It's White Pony.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
I will say this about Angel Dust. It was the last one with Jim Martin, what is kind of important. I was really disappointed when he left the band or he was kicked out or however that happened. I don't know, because to me, his guitar playing on everything previous was pretty important. And on Angel Dust, he did some incredible playing on there that just like the feel of Jim Martin never returned to Faith No More. Nothing wrong with the other guitar players and their songwriting. Of course, he didn't write most of the songs. So, in fact, he even said on Angel Dust, like basically he went in the studio. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? You guys already, like, what am I supposed to do now? You guys already have it done. I'm like, well, I'm just going to throw a few solos in and that's it, huh?
Right.
But yeah, I think Roddy does most of the writing, or is it?
That's a band I need. Has any of them guys, or is there a Faith No More book out there?
No.
There should be, because they're one of those bands out there that they deserve one. If there's any band out there that deserves to have like Motley Crue's The Dirt, it's Faith No More. Like, give me that.
Right.
I'd also like one on Pantera too. That'd be a good one.
Apparently, and I didn't read into this. I just saw the headline. I think I clicked on the link and I didn't like the way that it was, whatever it was. But apparently, Dimebag's girlfriend or wife or whatever she was approved the Pantera tour, which is going to be Zach and I don't know who's playing drums, but Zach.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I think he's the only guy that Dime would have been okay with doing.
Yeah. I've seen there's a channel I follow here on YouTube called Rock Feed. I actually heard of them through Young Rip of 5'9".
Dude, are you just going to promote other people's channel this whole time, or are we going to talk about music?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just channels I like. But I seen that news on there today, just this morning. But Chaos and Comics here, Chris says Mike Patton's voice is best on King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, and I've got to, I'll. Over Angel Dust, I mean, like I said, it's so debatable because they're both such different albums. I just think that it's on King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. He does a wider range of music, a wider range of things on there. Because like Angel Dust, go listen to that. I mean, listen to because they have the multiple voiceover tracks and things like that, different things that he does on there. And if you listen to that album, dude, it's crazy how many layers there are on there with all of that. And then hearing a lot of the singing that he's doing on there. It's just, I think it's more geared, like it's more one kind of music where like I said, King for a Day just does so much different stuff.
Right. And I think what happened with Angel Dust, the reason why it's so fair is because they basically decided they were going to go in and be as like, because the real thing, see, I almost called it epic. Like, how many times we joked about that? The real thing was so popular and was so mainstream for them. They did so well, and there was the expectation of them to go in and do another very commercially viable one. And I think they decided to say, just being the people that they are, that they were going to go the exact opposite and be as just hard to sell, like for the label, and they just be as gritty and as just crazy as they could be, as experimental as they could be. So I think that's why Angel Dust, why so many people like Angel Dust more than their later albums. But that's my take on it. That's why I think they got that, because it really is them going out there.
Yeah, definitely. And well, speaking of which, what did you think of their last album?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I remember seeing them. There was some performance of them before it came out, and I wasn't even aware that like these were new songs. But they played "Sunny Side Up," and I was kind of not so sure about it. But after listening to the album over and over, I really like it. I like that song a lot. So,
oh yeah, definitely. I'll be your leprechaun. Oh, I better be. Fuck, I better be careful.
Strike.
Shit. Okay, and here we go. Right here. Here's where Chris says Deftones' first album, White Pony second. I don't like Around the Fur. What, dude, bro? How do I ban you from the channel, Chris? Jesus Christ! Don't like Around the Fur.
Okay.
Oh, Rob Boswell says Vanilla Ice was the best. Hey, what do you mean was?
Yeah.
Rob Boswell
I believe he's still alive.
Yeah, is the best. Is the best. Okay. Yes.
What's up, everyone? We're talking.
What's up, Superior Hero Reviews? Mike Patton deserves a book. Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, even one about him, but even like an autobiography would be great too. I mean, how like I was saying the other week, I mean that book that Marilyn Manson did, dude, that book was great. I think it's called The Long Hard Road Out of Hell, just like the album was.
Now, I'm definitely not a Manson fan, but I think I would enjoy it as a read.
Yeah, it was a good book. Rob Boswell says Small Victories, the true story of Faith No More. Oh, is there? So there is a book then, maybe. I don't know. Oh, maybe he's just suggesting a title. Yeah,
that's a good title. That's a good title. If it doesn't exist, it should.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's meme it into existence.
Yes. More range on King for a Day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's just because they did a range of different music. But yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to Jim Martin too. Jim Martin's not there, but by no means did who was it that came in and did the guitars on that anyway? It was Trey Spruance, wasn't it?
If you say so. If you say so. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it was.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, and I think the thing also,
because the guy after him that played on Album of the Year was
the one that's still with him.
Yeah. Right? Why is his name escaping me all of a sudden? Yeah, his name's escaping.
I think I was so mad they kicked out Jim Martin, or Jim Martin wasn't there. I didn't even care to learn their names. Yeah.
I love Angel Dust too, though. Yeah, Angel Dust is it's just such a great album.
And speaking of Jim Martin, while we're on the topic, if you would notice the background picture there, that was taken from me with my messed up fluffy hair. That was taken when I saw Jim Martin play with Infectious Grooves.
Oh, we'll take ourselves off really quick and we'll show you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great show. I was right in the front, right by Infectious Grooves. I mean, I was gonna say right by Jim Martin, but I was right in between Jim and Robert Trujillo, and I was like going back and forth. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing these guys play.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't remember all of a sudden. Like that like his name is getting on my nerves. Like I know what his name is. Saul Invictus was very underrated too. Yeah, I think Saul Invictus was I think it was very underrated. You know, I remember when it came out, I remember seeing online a bunch of people saying, "No, I'm not paying for this crap, you know, retirement fund, this and that and that." There's all these people. I'm like, what are you talking about?
People were complaining about it.
Yeah, I see, dude. I was like, I can't remember where it was. I was like
people reading
reviews on it, and I'm like, dude, like, who the hell are these haters, dude? Like, I thought the album was solid. I'm a Mike Patton stan though. I follow all of his weirdo shit too. Oh yeah, me too, bro. I'm there too.
I've gotten almost everything. He did that Italian stuff. I think I skipped out on that. The Italian
Mike
pop
Patton
songs.
is a fucking genius, dude.
Right.
You know, like he's like.
What I really want him to do is another Peeping Tom.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Mike Patton is a living god. Sorry, I had to be very Kanye about that.
Tomahawk, that'd be great too, because that was another.
I think somebody was saying the other week that there is a new Tomahawk coming. I think somebody said the other week there is a new.
I hope they're not a goddamn liar.
I think they said Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Because who else was it? He did that album with too. Oh man, that other band, because he's not like on all their albums, but I think he did. Didn't he do like a whole album with them? Dillinger Escape Plan?
Oh yeah, and I have that one too. Yeah, the Dillinger Escape. Actually, a funny story. I got that and Tomahawk at the same time, and there were. I was like shuffling. I had like a 6-disc player that used to work in my car at the time, and I had the Dillinger one that he did, and I was confused. I thought it was Tomahawk in it, but there's only like 4 songs on it. It's like a 4-song deal, right? The Dillinger one. I was like, wow, this is. Well, where's that hip hop stuff that was supposed to be on here?
Huh.
But I was playing it over and over, and then I realized, oh well, this isn't Tomahawk. This is that other thing. I got them at the same time anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, Mike Patton stan, Chris, like yeah, totally. Like I mean, I love all his shit. Like everything he does is fucking great. Yeah, a new Peeping Tom album would be really good. I mean, you know what? And speaking of which, in case you guys like, when the last time we went and seen Faith No More at the Palladium down in LA
10 years ago,
ran into him, like literally, actually like literally ran into him. Him and Danny DeVito outside the show when we were going up to get in line to get in the venue. We ran into him.
I literally bumped into Danny DeVito.
This son of a bitch got a picture with him.
Yeah. Well, you know, tried to do a picture with you, but they had to go off. They had to go to then they had to go to Pomona. Wasn't that what they kept saying?
I don't know. Hashtag never forget.
Yeah. Well.
But we ran into him. It was funny too, because I remember when we got out of my truck and we were walking up to the show, I was like, oh shit, I left my Sharpie in the truck, and you're like, oh, what do you need that for? And I'm like, you never know who you'll bump into.
Right,
yeah. You think right at that second, you literally bumped right into Mike Patton.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, you the eternal optimist, always bringing your Sharpie with you.
Yeah, man, you got
good thing. What's up, Perry Comics?
Perry Comics, what's up? Perp Mind says what's up? Chris says Perry has bad taste. He won't be here too long.
Okay, well, we'll have to get our quality time in with him then.
Oh, Van Winkle is wiggity whack, says Wookie Supreme. Hey man, what was the VIP, the Vanilla Ice symbol he threw up? I think that's what he said. Trace Bruins. Yes, Trace Bruins. Okay, yeah. Vanilla Ice made a ton of money, and it was tortured out of him by Suge Knight to help start Death Row. So thank you, Vanilla Ice. Yes, thank you for your service, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
God bless you and Godspeed, good sir. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be having Dr. Dre. We wouldn't have Snoop Doggy Dogg. We wouldn't have the Dog Pound or any of those other people. Thank you.
Well, I think I would take that loss myself, but.
Nah, dude, that's some of the that was some of the best, like the Death Row Records thing. That was some of the best '90s.
I never liked Snoop though. I never did.
Hip hop stuff that came out, man. So, okay, Wookie, just get out of here. Just get out. I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding, Wookie.
Well, he doesn't like to be told to stop or collaborate or listen.
Yeah, he don't. Tomahawk is wonderful. Yes, definitely. And what was that last one they did? Anonymous? That album was great.
Right.
Phantomas?
Yes, I saw Phantomas. Phantomas.
I think I've only got their first album. Don't they have a second album?
Yeah. And I saw them with a band called Melt Banana, which you should check out if you want to hear some crazy Japanese woman screaming. It's like crazy fast guitar.
Yeah, but you know what? Like seriously, like he definitely needs to do another Peeping Tom album, because I remember when that first album came out, he actually said in an interview somewhere that he actually had enough material for 2 albums.
That's right.
Yeah, more than enough material for 2 albums, and like, where's that other album at, man?
I think the thing is he is wanting to. I think he's maybe being particular with who is on it, because remember, it was a collaboration deal, and he got all these people to work together to make the last one. And I think he's trying to do the same thing with this. And I think that's just my theory, that he's wanting to make sure he gets all the right people to do all the parts he wants to have done.
Yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says, me and Wookie both suffered from cutting our hair like Vanilla Ice, and it never grew back. Our lives are different now, but not bad. Come back to group, Wookie.
Oh yeah, I can see where that would.
Oh, Aggressively Relaxing is hilarious, guys. If you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, what's wrong with you?
I should be. I should do that. Maybe I can do that
hilarious. Right now. Hilarious. Dillinger escape plans are gods too. Tomahawk doesn't have hip hop on it. No, not at all. Like I said, that album they did, Anonymous, was great. Yo, what up, Biden Touch? Hey,
Biden Touch.
I saw Phantomas with Tool. They have 3 or 4 albums. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I think I've only got the first one. I'm pretty sure I've only got the first one. Chimera.
I don't know why you're comparing the two.
Out of the water. Blows who out of the water?
Actually, I do have a Chimera album, and I remember liking it at the time, but I
think they're not bad.
Things that I'm not going to bother revisiting.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not bad, but nobody blows Faith No More out of the water. Like, there's bands that are good, but nobody blows Faith No More out of the water. Nobody puts Mike Patton in a corner, or Mike Borden.
Yeah.
Or Bill Gold, however you
you're such a fan.
Or Roddy Bottom.
Or Roddy Bottom.
Or whatever person they're plugging in the guitars for the time being.
Yeah.
Nobody puts them in a corner.
Oh. Someone blew. Okay. Oh yeah. That's the other thing about Vanilla Ice. He cut his eyebrows, or he had that thing.
Oh yeah. Hey, me and my cousin did that too. I got yelled at by my dad. Like,
oh really?
I thought he was gonna beat me. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, and getting back to Faith No More, I mean, that it's really hard to say, and that's the thing. Like, when you're thinking about bands and you think about like what's their best album? Obviously, for me, I always think when it comes down to best of, when you're talking about best, it's your opinion. It's what somebody's opinion is. There's really no best. There's no such thing. Because it really depends on what you grade it on. Because a lot of bands out there, really, some of their best shit is usually their first album.
Right. And so they had their whole life to write that album, and then for the second album, they had 2 months.
Right. Yeah. Be careful if you sign on that dotted line.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funny thing about the music industry now is, I mean, you don't really even have to go to a big music label to do anything these days. But you don't want to be a SoundCloud rapper either.
Right. Well, back in the day, funny story about labels and them screwing you is David Bowie, apparently, his first deal, he hated. Like, he hated the label, and he put out he purposely put out the worst shit he could, like, and still able to, and was able to be released. And then as soon as the deal was up, that's when he put out like his big albums. Like after that contract was over and he got a new deal, that's when he put out his best shit. Like he was saving his best for that. So,
Chris,
I have a lot of respect
Chris,
for Bowie.
Talk about Faith No More, Chris. Do you want to come on? Are you able to? You can come on if you want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is this the goddamn Faith No More show or what?
Yeah.
What it just says changes and updates the music and mayhem hour. So
yeah. You know,
that's a funny way to spell Faith No More. I'm not complaining. I could talk about them all. We could talk about King for a day all day.
I just did that so I could hurry up and get the stream up and going. It's not the final. I can go in there and change that shit in a little while, which I probably will.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Chris, if you want to come on, let me know. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here.
Wookie. Don't even acknowledge that one about that comment about the Slayer. Don't even acknowledge that one.
Uh-oh. Did I miss something? What did I miss here?
Oh, he says the Slayer blows away any Faith No More show. If we're going to talk about Slayer, though, I actually did. I got a little bit, you know, I got to say a little bit, some kind of feeling when I watched the video.
For me, the thing with that is it's not that you're wrong, but you're not right neither. Because it's apples and oranges, really. Slayer and Faith No More, it's apples and oranges. Hell, it's not even apples and oranges.
That comment isn't even good enough to be wrong. That's the thing.
It's almost not even apples and oranges. Yeah. It's almost cucumbers and apples, maybe. I don't know.
Right. But
because
I was gonna. Can I say something real quick about the Slayer thing? Because I wasn't really excited about their. I wasn't really excited about their going away tour. Because I saw them when Hanneman was still alive. And I saw them when they did Seasons in the Abyss, and I saw them previously to that also. So it's like I got my Slayer in, but when they came on, I saw that they started the show with some intro off of one of their newer albums, but they started playing South of Heaven. That's what they opened up the show with. I got a little bit, you know, it kind of hit me in the heart because that was my introduction to Slayer, and that's always what was probably always my favorite Slayer song and probably always will be. But they kicked off their final show with South of Heaven, and I thought, man, I wish at that point I would have gone, you know, to their farewell show. But probably would have been screwed like I was with Motley Crue.
Yeah, and not to say because I've never seen Slayer live, but and regardless of anything, like to me, it's just because they're so different, both bands. But I mean, I'm that by no means that Slayer sucks.
No. They were great. Yeah, I wish they would have just hung it up when Hanneman quit because it would have seemed like a little bit. Oh, here we go.
We got
what's up, bud?
Comics.
How you doing? What's going on, man? Slayer and Faith No More talk, man. Did you guys go to that last Slayer show or no?
No. We were just talking about how I watched the video of it and I kind of wished I would have. But
I went to I did go to the third to last, which was here in Vegas.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Dude, I don't hate Slayer, but I can't. I've never been able to sit through an entire Slayer show. I mean, because I'll give them credit. I mean, it's because they play for so long. But I mean, I like Slayer, but I mean, after like the fifth song, you know, they all sound like, you know. But I have that.
That's because you shouldn't be sitting at a Slayer show. You need to be out there moshing.
Yeah, didn't they always have a reputation? And it was pretty bad in the 90s. I remember in the 90s, it was one of the roughest shows I ever went to. I saw them on the, what was that one where they were singing about aliens after they kicked out Lombardo on that tour?
The Repentless?
No, it was.
I thought that was the album they kicked Lombardo.
I think it was the Divine Intervention tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. I think I had to like Biohazard open up, which was the main reason I went. And it was they were great. And then when Slayer got on, I just had to kick it to the back. I was just like, I'm not gonna mess with this. it was rough. It was rough.
Slayer fans are people that are like that's their favorite band. They're interesting guys too, you know. But I mean,
for sure.
After leaving the last time I saw Slayer, the last time I saw them on the tour where they did the entirety, I just said it. No, but it doesn't matter. Leaving the show, all you hear is Slayer.
Yeah, people are excited, and so that's why I don't shit on it too much. But here I do have a Slayer controversial statement.
Okay.
And that's and that everyone talks about Jeff. No, get this shit off here.
He puts me on blast like that too. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. I don't think the Jeff Hanneman stuff is any better than the new stuff. Like, I don't think it's that special. Like, everyone wants to go to Jeff Hanneman, and I understand he wrote all the important songs, the early important songs, but dude, it doesn't sound that. You know how I know when it's Jeff Hanneman and when it's like Kerry King is that when it's Hanneman, it's about hell, and when it's Kerry King, it's about like general violence. You know, like.
Okay.
So I mean, I love the old Slayer. I like Slayer a lot too. I'm not a huge fan or anything, but yeah, I don't hear enough difference. Or maybe it's because I didn't think Hanneman was that good either. You know, I mean, I did see Kerry King mess up some guitar work on this tour online. If you guys saw those, but I mean, I think he was just dialing it in. I think he's like, I got 6 more shows ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and again, they might do like Motley Crue where they say, "Oh, no, we're still going to do it." I mean, Motley Crue even signed a contract that said they can't do a show.
I told you it was controversial, and Wookie seems to be a
Wookie's like
Wookie seems to be a Slayer guy. But when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I mean, they're just writing the same. They're writing the same way. They write the exact same fucking way.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, Wookie's right. Boo this man.
Yeah, I mean, I told you.
I think Kerry
he's only agreeing because you don't piss off a Wookie.
Yeah.
He's only agreeing you're not supposed to piss off a Wookie.
There you go.
And I think they did use one of a couple of Jeff Hanneman's riffs or ideas that he had sitting around before he died on that last album that they did. I think that's what happened. So
on Repentless.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, he's awesome, but you know, he had one idea and did a bunch of albums with that one idea, and then Kerry King copied it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So we could get back into Faith No More talk if you'd like.
Let's get back in.
That's why we invited you on.
I could do
Faith No More too.
Mm-hmm. Well, was my Faith No More comment really that the Faith No More comment wasn't that controversial? Obviously, if you like the album that's, you know, goes across more musical styles, then you're gonna like that one better than Angel. But I love Angel Dust too, so I mean, I wasn't trying to say one's definitely better. I just like I like Mike Patton's like voice and all the stuff he does, you know.
Yeah. For me, it's a kind of like an Any Given Sunday kind of thing. Like today, I could say it is like and that's why I say I think it's overall Angel Dust. But like today, I could be feeling like it's Angel Dust. Tomorrow, I'll be out riding my bike listening to an album, and I'll just be like, I think Faith No More, maybe King for a Day is better. Maybe it is better.
I think Album of the Year gets overlooked too much, and I think it was a great follow-up to King for a Day and almost a King for a Day Part 2.
Oh yeah.
There's
a great album too.
With that album.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a great album too. I would have to like actually listen to them again too. I know that the one I go to a lot, you know, 30 years later or whatever, is King for a Day. Like when I go, I haven't heard Faith No More in a while, I seem to go for King for a Day first, right. You know. But I love Album of the Year too. So I love Stolen because, like I said in the chat.
You know, one of my favorite songs they did. One of my favorite songs that they did isn't even actually on one of their albums. It was on the Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack, and that was oh man,
I don't know Hell, and they did
Perfect Crime.
Yeah,
Perfect Crime. And it's not even on any other albums. I think it's on one of their greatest hits. But like that song is so badass because it's like right in between The Real Thing and Angel Dust. I think it's like right in that time. Period, and that song is just so badass.
It sounds to me more like production-wise, more like the earlier stuff.
Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot more like it's something from The Real Thing for sure. You wanted to call it the Epic album again. That's where you tripped yourself.
I know.
That's the Epic album.
I'm not gonna say it. But they. I have a version of that also. There was an alternate version of Perfect Crime where the chorus was different and there were a few different changes in there. That's pretty cool. I should give it to you. If you don't have it, I should burn it for you.
Yeah, definitely.
File.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mail you the tape.
Yeah, right. Mail me the tape. Give me the disc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, and that's the thing too, because like I think about it, even the Real Thing is such a great album as well. I mean, I think in that album, I mean, obviously Faith No More, like what they have like 2 albums before that.
Yeah, with that other singer.
Yeah, the full length and the EP.
Yeah, the EP, which was Introduce Yourself, was the EP, right?
No,
that should be the album.
Okay, We Care a Lot with the EP. Yeah. And both of those albums are really good too. But I think that like that first album, or I guess the first one with Mike Patton, really kind of showed like, I don't know, just I guess really a lot of range and just everything and what they were doing, especially at the time when that came out. I remember I was definitely a youngster when that came out, because it was at like 1989.
Yeah. It's a lot like when Phil showed up to Pantera. You know, they stopped being like, it sort of brought them together. Although I would say Introduce Yourself is a much better album than those pre-Phil Pantera albums.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
I don't think I've ever heard their very first stuff. I know there's you can get versions of them out there, you know, but I haven't heard the original stuff, like when they were power metal or whatever they were called.
Yeah, it's Van Halen-esque. Van Halen meets like hair metal kind of thing.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
That's they played songs off that. Remember we talked last week about how I was in the Pantera home video. They played songs off that when I had never heard it before, but Dimebag was singing, and there was PTS, something like that, but the chorus was something like "Pussy Tight." I don't remember exactly, but yeah,
demonetized.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
It's over.
You can bleep it out.
I haven't listened to those old albums in a long time, but I like to mention them for whatever reason, because it's pretty funny. It's pretty different from what they became. But yeah, so it's sort of the same. Like they really like found themselves. Although I like We Care a Lot and Introduce Yourself, although I probably haven't listened to either one of those in like 20 years. But I think I remember liking them. I have Introduce Yourself at least, you know, on CD still somewhere in that pile of CDs over there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like you're saying, they really came together, The Real Thing, and then they started getting sort of experimental, and then Mike Patton left, and then he went off the deep end. You know what I mean? So yeah, right.
And
I didn't realize Jim Martin went to Secret. I didn't realize that was him in Secret Chiefs 3 until you guys started talking about it, and then I went to go see where Jim Martin went afterwards. You guys? So Secret Chiefs 3, the album I have, or the couple albums I have, is really good. And when you guys started talking about Jim Martin, because I don't know names all the time, so it was like I had to sort of remind myself that there was a guitar player change. I'm a Patton fan, right? But I'll forget the Faith No More stuff. And I went and seen what Jim Martin did, and he was in Secret Chiefs 3, and that band's awesome. So I didn't know that it had the Jim Martin tie.
There was this band called, and I never heard anything from them, but he played in it. Jim Martin played in it for a while, and also Rocky George played in it for a while. Like when Rocky left Suicidal, I was devastated, and when Jim left Faith No More, I was devastated. But there was this band called White Devil that they apparently both played in. Some other guys that played in before that I've never heard. That is sort of an underground band that just never released an album.
That'll happen, especially in LA. People get together, you'll never see it. Tapeworm, for example, if you guys remember the whole Tapeworm thing. You guys remember that?
Familiar. Yeah.
Tapeworm is the band. Tapeworm is the band that was supposed to be Maynard and what's his name from Nine Inch Nails, and they recorded music and it never got released. Yeah, a couple of those songs were reworked and put on a Perfect Circle album, but they're not the same.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, and then like we were saying, even Album of the Year, and when Album of the Year came out, that was the first time I'd ever seen Faith No More live. We went to Denver and we seen him there in Denver. It was a crazy show. It was like the weirdest show in the world. Weirdest show I've ever seen, because the lineup was Limp Bizkit and Faith No More.
That's funny.
You know what? I got screwed out of seeing Faith No More previously. On the Guns N' Roses Metallica tour, that big tour they did in 91 or it was probably 92, maybe 93, when James burnt himself. We were going to the show, and we found out like the night before James burnt himself, so that was canceled. And Faith No More was on there originally, but then when they rescheduled the shows, Faith No More had their conflict of schedule or whatever, and they couldn't be on it. So I saw Body Count instead, which is cool. But I really wanted to see Faith No More. I wanted to see them more than Guns N' Roses or Metallica.
Hell yeah, especially back in them days, 91. Shit, yeah.
I mean, I've seen Metallica enough, so it wasn't special for me to see them. But Guns N' Roses, like even already at that point, I was like, I was tired of Axl's shit at that point,
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Guns N' Roses back in the day, back in them days, back in the Axl days, back in the Axl being a total what do they call those? Being a total bridezilla. Yeah,
bridezilla.
Yeah. Even back when he was being one of those, I would have loved to have seen that back in the day. And by the way, I don't know who would have won. Who would have won?
Axl. Excellent.
Axl or Vince?
Excellent Vince. I watched some of those videos of that whole incident. And what did Vince say? It was so funny. I was saying it for weeks after I watched that video again. But Vince, come on, bub, or something like that.
What year was it? You guys are talking about Vince Neil, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Vince Neil.
What year? What year was it?
Probably 92.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Vince Neil would have kicked his ass.
No, actually, I think it was a little bit earlier than that because I think Vince was still in Motley Crue. So
yeah,
there's that. And then there's also this thing. There was also something that was actually kind of a fight. I was like, oh wow, this would be a good one. Was for whatever reason they were beefing Mike Muir and Dave Mustaine, and I remember
Mike Muir.
Dave saying, well, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, so I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. And that's always kind of funny when people say, basically, I know karate,
Right.
Yeah.
But Mike's a brawler.
Yeah.
And Dave Mustaine's corny. Dave Mustaine's a really corny dude.
Man. Yeah. I love and respect him. He was the one person.
Great guitar player. Player.
He's the one person I met that I felt like, starstruck and nervous and stuff. I didn't know what to say. Like he signed my book at that same show that I saw Slayer play Seasons of the Abyss. They played Rust in Peace. It was a great show. But anyway, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, really looking forward to the show. Like I couldn't think.
That's all you can say. That's all you can say. They just they float you off anyway, right? Yeah.
Right. It's not like you can sit down and drink a cup of coffee together or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's special? She takes you in the back and jerks you off?
That's not what the line is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Demonetized.
Correct it.
Yeah.
Correct it.
So,
I can't remember.
Does anyone have anything to say in the comments here?
It was close. It was close. Let's see. Wookiee Supremacy says, I would love to hear Tapeworm. We were robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The song they said was the closest is off of Perfect Circle's new album, which it's Perfect Circle, so it's whatever. But
right,
what fucking song is it? It's like number 6 on that album. So, but you could tell it's been Perfect Circleized. There's no like techno sounding stuff that what's his name would have had on it. So
okay, yeah.
It's been
Reznor?
changed to
is that you're looking for? Trent Reznor?
Trent, yeah. I was trying to think of Trent. Yeah. Trent Reznor.
Wookie says Vincent Axl now. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
2 tubbies in the ring.
Yeah. Have you seen videos? It's just so sad.
Taco Bell in the middle of the ring. I go at it.
Have you seen videos of Vince singing "Kickstart My Heart"? It's so hilarious. It's so sad. Like he says about every 5th word. Sings about every 5th word, and he's like,
"What was it? Karaoke? Was that a karaoke bar out here?"
No, that was him at on the last tour.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Aggressively says, let's go to the tail of the tape. Vince is 1 year older and both stand at a towering 5'9".
Yeah. And they'd be fighting at heavyweight. They'd probably be fighting at heavyweight at 5'9".
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? Like Axl Rose, man, he still got it though, man. He still got his voice, dude. Like he's like I've always liked him for that, dude.
Does he?
Yeah, like even in that last album, Chinese Democracy, man, I thought he was great on that album.
Yeah, I wonder how it is live. I'm not going to pay those prices to see a band I don't like that much.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what it sounds like live.
As controversial as it was, I wish I could have seen him with that when he went on tour for AC/DC when Brian Johnson couldn't go on any longer.
Oh,
that would have been an interesting show. I'd love to have seen AC/DC though. They're a band I didn't really get into until later. Like they were always there my whole life, and I always listened to them. But it wasn't until about 2005, I think, that I really got into them. I'm like, oh wow, I realized what a treasure they were, and so some of their back catalog that I hadn't discovered before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll let you have AC/DC.
Okay.
It's all yours.
A lot of people don't like them because they think they're too basic or whatever, or whatever.
Basic works, man.
Yeah,
it does.
Look at Madball. Look at Madball.
Yeah,
basic works.
No one's talking about. Oh, they need to branch out a little bit. No.
Yeah.
like Freddie Christian says, and I think it wasn't their last album or the one before that. One that came out about 10 years ago. I'm still the same guy that'll punch you in the effing face. See, I'm not trying to get you demonetized there.
Right.
Yeah. He already talked about jerking off 2 seconds ago, so he demonetized himself.
Yeah. It's all good.
It's over. He has me and Dylan on his comic book one, and we're always cussing at them, being like, "Oh man, damn."
Yeah, it's all good. You know what's funny is they don't always just demonetize for that.
No, it's got to be a long stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of times I think it kind of depends on if somebody complains or anything like that, but. Because I've had a couple where I'm sitting there like this one still has ads on it. Like, how does this have ads on it? How can I on this video? I think it depends on who you piss off.
That's weird. I mean, how does something like Rogan stay monetized? All he does is cuss on there. Sometimes he's smoking weed on the fucking thing. You know what I mean? He's more worried about being demonetized. At least when I've watched him, when like someone plays music, when someone plays, So I don't know why that would demonetize you. It seems like it might be someone complaining. You got to complain back.
Chaos. Speaking of Joe Rogan, have you ever tried DMT?
No. They talk about it a lot.
Joe Rogan meme. Anyone tells a story about this? Oh, my wife left me and blah blah blah. Oh God, that's odd. Have you ever tried DMT?
Yeah. Oh.
Like it tries to shoot in every conversation.
I
like that one. Yeah,
Axel doesn't have the biggest gas tank.
Yeah, because he's sitting on a throne for a lot of it, isn't he?
AC/DC upping rocks.
Thank you, aggressive.
AC/DC when I was in grade school, my older sister took me. That's an awesome older sister.
Cool. Yeah.
If I were in grade school and saw that stage show, I probably would have been really into it.
You know what? Just here another little interesting thing about AC/DC to me, anyway. One reason why I got into them is because we were talking about Jerry Cantrell. The one time I saw Jerry Cantrell on some side project, I think called the Cardboard Vampires. It was him and a guy from the Cult, and I don't remember who else. But they played a bunch of AC/DC songs, and that's what got me to realize, like, wait a minute, Jerry Cantrell likes this. I need to start paying attention, for one. And they sounded great, and it was like so simple, just playing 3 chords, whatever it was. I think it was Dirty Deeds or something like that. Maybe.
It probably got the crowd
I can't remember
going.
what songs they were, but they were from the early years of AC/DC, and I was like, man, I need to get.
It probably got the crowd going, so I can respect it from that for that. But I mean, they've even said on that famous VH1 thing. He goes, a lot of people say we've released the same album 14 times, and he goes, I correct him. I tell him we've released the same album 15 times.
Exactly. I love that.
You know what I mean? So it's that. So it's cool.
Own it. You know?
Oh man, yeah, that would have been great seeing GNR at Soldier Field. I'd have just liked to have been at Soldier Field anyway. Until I saw the ticket prices. Yeah, I'm sure the ticket prices are outrageous.
Right.
So what was the price?
Yeah.
Probably too much.
Yeah, Metallica was for us here was like $275 for nosebleeds, and Guns N' Roses was something like the same. That Guns N' Roses play 2 nights though, so you can find some of the nosebleed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was terrible. And that same night when they got back together, their first on the tour was here when Guns N' Roses / got back together. G3 was playing like at a casino down the street. I went to that. Like Slash is great, but I mean, I saw Stevie Vai, I saw Zach Wild, I saw the dude from Animals is, you know what I mean? Like just shredding, Yingvi, and the dude from Extreme that I didn't know was that good of a guitar player. I don't know Extreme that well, but that dude was freaking incredible too. And like all I could think about is like there are so many people at Guns N' Roses right now because they you know, at least in our city, which is actually small, that you know, are all there, and I have these like beautiful. It was like empty enough. There was enough people there, but it was empty enough that one, I got the tickets comped, and two, I like walked up and sat in better seats. Like after I realized no one was like taking those seats up there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, it's one of the best shows because I just compare it to like, oh, I could have spent $300 on Guns N' Roses, and instead, you know,
right.
It was way better.
Nuno Betancourt, guitarist for
that's his
Extreme.
name.
Yeah. He's an incredible guitarist, and it's kind of a shame with Extreme because actually I got into Extreme when their first album came out before they had that More Than Words. I actually liked it. I was like, man, this guy's an incredible guitar player, but the band itself just kind of got lame, you know, like More Than Words. They got known for that, you know.
Yeah.
And it just they never recouped from that. I don't think anyone knew them as just a band with a badass guitar player. You know?
Yeah, and a lot of those hair metal bands, the guitar player's talent got lost. A lot of people say the dude from Poison was pretty good, you know, but he never really played. He never had to play that well. You know what I mean? He never had to play this with a ton of skill, you know. And so, but yeah, Betancourt was great. Like he was hanging with them. And like with a little more soul too, because like Malmsteen, when he plays, I mean, you're impressed, but you're sort of done with it after 5 or 10 minutes, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a shame too, because Yngwie, he studied a lot of classical stuff. He's very well.
He's the most talented. He might be the most talented guy, or at least up there.
This doesn't translate to being entertaining for very long, unfortunately. You know? There's something called being an incredible guitar player and an incredible player. And then there's something called being an entertaining guitar player, and they don't always overlap. Speaking of the hair metal thing, we could have a talk about that someday, about what a shame it was that it did like pigeonhole so many bands into like they're the hair metal band. And Winger is the one that I think of the most because Kip Winger is an incredibly talented singer, songwriter, guitar player. He's incredibly talented, and they weren't really like a hair metal band, but they had that image. You know, the label wanted them to dress that certain way. They were just like a good rock band, like close to like a Journey or something like that. And, you know, just would stand on their own. If they would have been marketed as just Winger and not like Winger, who is also like these other hair metal bands because they're dressing up and they're teasing their hair and all that kind of stuff, I think they would be more respected than they are. They
may not have ever been known. They may not have ever been known, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they were just in their situation where, hey, if you're going to get a record label and tour, you got to look like this now, you know, like I'm glad I didn't grow up in those days.
Right.
Yeah. Music.
I think that happened with Vanilla Ice too, or MC Hammer.
Gift a
Vanilla Ice.
That you can't sell and can just shit in it. Okay.
Yeah.
RC Scott.
Struggle Forever feels strongly about that.
Scorpions to be hair metal.
No.
Yeah,
they were around before hair metal.
Yeah, it's close. They have a few photos. They're definitely not, but they have a few photos where you would definitely think that, you know.
I think everyone had to dress up like that. You know, there was like a 3-year period in the 80s where you weren't going to get anywhere unless you played the games.
Well, what's funny is they're German, so that's how they dressed anyway. They just dress funny.
Yeah. Wookie says Malmsteen was slumming it with Kiss.
That's funny.
Oh,
did he tour? Did he tour with Kiss or did he play with Kiss? He didn't play with Kiss.
No, he never played with Kiss.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Maybe he opened up for them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
David Lee Roth was opening up for Kiss recently, so I don't know what tour they're talking about.
Huh. But
by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, you should really check out the early interview. What's his name? For the Kiss, like from the 70s, the Tomorrow Show or the night or it was some talk show where Ace Frehley is just pissing off Gene Simmons like crazy because he's so drunk and he's just laughing and interrupting Gene all the time, kind of stepping on what Gene's saying. It's so great. because Gene is smart and he has a way of presenting things, right? But Ace and Peter were so stupid they would mess up the whole mystique of it. Because he was like Gene was talking. One thing Gene says, "Oh yeah, in the early days we had more equipment than everyone. Remember that, guys? Oh, we had so much more equipment than everyone else." And like an idiot, Peter Criss says, "Oh yeah, you mean those empty Marshalls?" Like, God, it's like he's trying to talk up how big they were in the early days, and Peter Criss is saying, "No, those were just empty Marshall cabinets." Like, yeah, that's why they got kicked out of the band. I'm sure it's like, man, we have a mystique, we have an image we have to hold up. You don't, pull the curtain away and show that we're just some little man. No, we're
you got to play it up. You got to play it up. Definitely, and I think that's kind of their MO, isn't it? Wasn't it
all image?
Decline of Western Civilization, or what's his name, sitting there on the bed with all the chicks.
Oh yeah, you can live like this. Don't
Paul Stanley.
By the way, I watched a Paul Stanley video last night, DVD. I decided to pop it in, and it's pretty good quality. I wish that he would have Kiss would have broken up 10 or 15 years ago, because his solo albums are way better than Kiss now. In fact, his solo album in the 70s was the best one, I think, my opinion.
It's just called, is just his name, Paul Stanley?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, his recent one, is Live to Win is the name of it, and it came out in 2005 or 2006.
I haven't listened to any of them, so
yeah. But the
I've
one
already
that
listened to any Kiss,
in the 70s was just Paul Stanley. They all did their solo albums, and his was better than.
Everyone's.
He's the songwriter. I think he's the one that really it was the most talent in the band. Although I really appreciate Frehley's guitar playing as well.
Definitely.
Were you a Kiss guy, Trinity?
No, not really. I wasn't really big into them or anything when I was growing up or anything. I mean, I heard of them. They weren't bad. They were just, they were band. They were Kiss,
Yeah. My classic rock is heavily influenced by my dad and my friends. So he was never a Kiss guy, but he's definitely a Zeppelin guy. Definitely Van Halen. I mean, I think I thought Bad Company was a way more popular band growing up than they actually were. Everyone knows those songs, but always that was one of his favorite bands. I just heavily influenced by that. And then later on is when I discovered metal and stuff. And then that's what he calls acid rock. So he's
acid rock.
Yeah. So he's never a Kiss guy, but his friends were huge Deadheads. He doesn't like Grateful Dead, but
acid rock. Now,
DMT.
Band I want to. Maybe some of you are not familiar with. They are like early Sabbath and Beatles and a lot of other weird stuff from that era combined. And it's these guys. Let's see. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Oh yeah, they're playing Psycho, or they played a Psycho last year here in Vegas.
I'm just now discovering them. They have 5 albums out. I have 3 of them now that I'm trying to digest, and they are incredible. The one that I have, Mind Control, the first one I got has been in my car for 2 weeks now. I just can't take it out. So
nice.
Definitely worth checking out. If you like Sabbath, English rock, metal, proto metal, kind of proto metal. It's kind of before there was metal, but they're kind of that sound. So it's cool. It's just great riffs, and
nice.
They sing about.
That's how. Yeah, they played. Oh, they played here. They played here last year in August.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they played in LA recently. Where are they from? Do you know where they're from?
They're from England. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they kind of sound like the Beatles. like their vocalist and Steven Wilson, and there's something about the gene pool there in England that kind of the voices sound kind of familiar, kind of like John Lennon.
Huh. Yeah, this morning on my bike ride, I was jamming Devin Townsend band the whole time.
Always a good choice.
The solo stuff. I like it. I like it. It's a little spacey. Sometimes it gets a little.
I was gonna say he's got so many different things because he did Devin Townsend Band, Devin Townsend Project, and hell, there's probably some that are probably just Devin Townsend, which I think are the Ziltoid albums for sure. But I just kind of put all of it, basically all of them, the band, Devin Townsend Band, Devin Townsend Project, and Devin Townsend albums, all in one big playlist. I didn't put Strapping Young Lad in there, but
it's a little different.
The only thing we haven't touched on so far, my 5 albums. These like the 5 albums I go to at the end of the night if I've been drinking and I want to just pop in and I want to listen to something familiar. Here's the ones. Number 1, always the number 1 top play, Devin Townsend, Addicted, always that one. Number 2, Corrosion of Conformity,
okay,
Deliverance, and number 3, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime, and number 4, Black Sabbath, Sabotage. And there's a Sabotage I can't think of right now. Now you put me on the spot, asshole.
You put yourself on the spot.
Right?
You literally just said it.
But yeah, no, like Devin Townsend, man, he has so many great albums. Just so, and they're all. I mean, it's funny too because when you listen to him, you hear like similar riffs. Like he recycles a lot of stuff. Like it just kind of evolves. You know what I mean? The sound of him and everything, and you can hear it over several of his different albums, like a similar riff and stuff like that. That he's kind of evolved and changed a little bit. But I just put all those albums in a on a playlist and just put it on shuffle, and that that playlist could go on for hours.
Here's an easy. Here's let's make it more difficult or more easy depending on how you want to look at it. Let's try this question: is there a Devin Townsend album you don't like?
Well, I know there's one you don't like. You've already said Terraria is your you don't even like it. You said that one. I got the I got receipts. I think that's what the kids call it these days. I got receipts.
I think if anything, I don't know. If anything, maybe just because it's kind of hard to listen to, even though it's good background music. Of the first 4 Devin Townsend Project albums, the Ghost.
Yes.
I don't dislike it. It's just not one that it's just like you got to have to be in the right setting for it.
See, and I like Ghost actually. I like going like writing and listening to Ghost. That's a great album. Yeah, that's a good one. Of course.
I saw Devin. I saw him live, and he's great live. And when I listen to him, I seem to I can't tell the difference. I don't know the albums well enough. I've only listened to him since I've had. I mean, I like Strapping Young Lad, that's for damn sure. But I've only listened to him since I've like listened to something at work. I needed something spacey and metal and stuff like that. But live, he's fucking great. Like he's incredible live.
Yeah, yeah. Like live, I mean, it sounds just as good as the album live. When they play, I mean, like the band that he plays with and everything, and they're just so on point. They're just so on point. Playing together, really really great stuff. And God, I don't know. I think how many times have I seen Devin Townsend? Thinking 2, maybe 3 times.
He tours a lot for not being from here.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen him twice. So suppose they can't decide if album, what was it, Volume 4 or Sabotage is the best album. I would say, that is a tough one. 4, I think it's a 3-way tie for me. If anything is going to come in second, it's going to be Volume 4, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, or Sabotage. But Sabotage that was sort of my entry point to Sabbath. So you always remember your first one.
Right. But, yeah, and getting back to Devin Townsend, the Ziltoid albums. Those albums are so badass. Like I remember the first one when that first one came out, Ziltoid and the Omniscient. I don't know how many times. Like I think I had that shit in my DVD player in my truck, and I don't think I took that out for like the longest time because that album was just so damn great from start to finish. I mean, there's no skipping songs. I mean, if anything, it's probably rewinding songs. I mean, yeah, it's just such a great concept album that he did there. Need to get a Ziltoid puppet.
Right. We could do a talk on concept albums. Favorite concept album. Let's hear it in the comments. Favorite concept.
That'd be
albums.
good too.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do lists though, you guys always have to give me a chance because I always forget something and then I think about it for the next like 3 weeks. I'd be like, oh fuck, I should have said.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm thinking, when I get everything figured out with being able to do that and go through and do the whole the thing on there, so we can do just like Fanjextra does on his channel. I've got to get all that figured out, but we'll probably put up some polls, help get people's input on some of those kinds of things.
Coheed and Cambria, that they did like a concept career. They like took it to a whole different level.
That's not a concept album. That's every album is the same concept except for one.
That's interesting. I like Apollo, whatever that one was. I think it was their fourth one. Yeah.
Coheed's interesting though because it's like you get like in through the eyes of a metalhead, you get people that really really hate them, and you still get people that really really love them.
Right.
And I have a few friends that are big Rush fans, and they love Coheed. Right. And I was like, sense. Yeah, it makes sense, like for playing and prog wise, right? But I mean, they still don't sound like each other. Maybe they do. Right. I mean, I guess the one thing everyone complains about both bands is the high pitched singing, right? So, so I've come around. I'm not a huge fan, but I've come around. Like I'll go to the concert with them and watch it, and it's pretty good. It's fine.
I think they'd be a good show. They came out with after that. I think they ended. Well, the Dark Rainbow one was pretty good, but the one after that was like, just total crap. I can't even explain how horrible it was.
I don't even know him that well.
Yeah,
he's one up for I guess not really debate, but I mean, a dude of review says Fear Factory Obsolete was a great album. That is a great album. It is.
I think that's their highlight. I think that's their
really. You think that's better than the one before it? Demanufacture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Demanufacture is a great album, man.
Bands have
it's hard for me even to think the difference.
They have two albums back to back that are their top moment. And for instance, like for Metallica, it was Master of Puppets and Injustice for All. For me, anyway, that was their peak.
Right.
And so I think Demanufacture and Obsolete was Fear Factory's.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say they're definitely on par with each other for sure. And that's why I said, like, for me, it just really kind of depends. I mean, I think Obsolete, it sounds like when you listen to it, it's almost like a story. It seems almost like you're listening to a story. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like maybe
it is a concept album, isn't it?
Huh?
I mean, Fear Factory. Fear Factory seems to have a concept also. Maybe not a story.
Yeah.
But like they like everything's about machines and shit taking over. I feel like Hickman maybe read Fear. Fear Factory.
Well, maybe that's who it is. Maybe Burton C. Bell is John Hickman, because I know that was one of his things originally, was he wanted to be a writer anyway, and then he just got involved in the band and everything, and it became popular enough. He's like, well, hell, I just I can write stories and tell it through this basically, and that's
when Dino got back in the band, I was able to see him. They headlined for whatever reason, just super small bars, and they were fucking awesome. So they were great live, and it was like that. They hadn't played with each other for a long time. So
short Dino story. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I didn't want to forget either. Did I tell you that story about Dino when I met him? Okay, so it was I used to hang out at the Rainbow. I used to go there and drink. And Dino, what's that? I used to drink there like almost every weekend for a while because you'd meet people. I met Lemmy there. So this is right after he left or got kicked out of Fear Factory or whatever. I said, "Hey, great to meet you, man. Sorry about, Fear Factory or something to that effect. Oh, sorry. We like fucking basically walked away, like basically screw you. I don't want to hear about that. Like I just want to be reminded but he was getting together his other band at that time. I can't remember what it was, but I had that album and I think we talked about it before. It wasn't too impressive.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Wookie. Nice. It says they used to play this small bar regularly in Phoenix called The Jar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty badass, man. They are badass.
It was probably the same thing. It was probably the same tour we saw.
Hell out of here.
Dio forever.
Oh man.
Dio forever. Didn't I like to make people mad? Who did
I like the Humanizer.
Black Sabbath?
Wasn't it Dehumanizer? Wasn't that the last one that he did with them?
Trolls
in the 90s.
I mean, but they're my real opinions, though. Yeah, I just know that they're controversial. Like they're the way I really feel.
Right.
I mean, Dio. It annoys me every day that Ozzy represents like metal when Dio should definitely represent metal. It's like represents being the godfather of metal.
Yeah, but who's alive?
Huh?
Ooh, ouch.
I mean, is Ozzy alive? Is Ozzy alive?
Barely.
I think Ozzy died in 1983.
Yeah, right.
You ever seen him in the day?
Yeah, Ozzy's on his last leg. He is. It's sad. This is probably his last album, the one he put out. For those who are interested.
Well, dude, I thought Ozzy was on his last leg during that damn TV show.
Yeah,
like for 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that guy's dying. That guy's gonna die soon.
Oh, his kids are gonna kill him.
Sharon.
Yeah, him or the guy from Rolling Stones, who lives longer?
Oh my God, Keith Richards. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he can be.
Keith Richards.
He's probably gonna live forever. His body's been preserved by the drugs.
Yeah.
He looked like one of those old ass wilted up apples. I remember my grandma. She used to have like some of these dolls that I think like their heads or something like that. They look like the wilted up apples, like old apples, and they're all wilted up and crazy looking. That's what that dude's gonna look like. He already looks like that shit.
Yeah, I mean the teeth, the eyes. He looks like a shrunken head almost.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. Well,
So what newer bands do you guys like, since we're all older? But is there new? I mean, you just showed Uncle Deadbeat, so
yeah, Uncle Ass and the Deadbeats. Yeah.
Is there anything, or are you guys? Because some people they get to an age and then they're done. They go, I'm
always looking for new
600 albums.
Yeah. It seems like nothing in the last 5 years really that I can think of, but something definitely in the last 10 years, like say for instance, Red Fang. I'd really like them. They're a good.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, as I said, I think for me, most of it's like mostly older bands. Just because it's so hard nowadays. Because I mean, like with the younger generation, a lot of these kids are not like playing instruments and playing guitars and making metal music and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It seems like.
Well, I'm talking about the metal bands.
Our older
right.
people. I wouldn't necessarily say metal's dying, but it's just not like there's not as many people doing it now.
Right. All the old guys are still doing it. Clutch is still putting out albums. Overkill's still putting out albums.
Yeah.
The old reliable guys are still doing it.
Well, on the thrash side, I'm not the biggest thrash guy, but like some of these bands I'm really bad with names. Not Black Mask. There's a cool thrash band named Black Fast. Fast, that's the shit.
Black Fast. Then there's Lynchpin and Municipal Waste, who are fairly new. They're like
I wouldn't call them. I wouldn't call them
like 12 years now, but they're
good. Lich King was pretty badass. But
you said Lynchpin?
Yeah, but apparently they they don't actually tour. Apparently their singer won't tour. When they go tour, they have some other guy fill in for singing.
Lame.
Yeah,
Power Trip is new, and they're really good. I mean, they're not doing anything new, but they seem to get the crowd going. I saw them at a small place out here.
Gentleman's Pistols. Have you heard of them?
I haven't heard Gentleman's Pistols.
They're actually a rock band. The dude from Carcass, one of the guitar players for Carcass, plays in there. They're like a southern rock, southern metal band. They're just
which guitar player from Carcass?
What's that?
Which guitar player from Carcass?
See, gonna put me on the spot.
I'm not putting you on the spot. I can't remember shit either.
Can't think of the guy's name right now. I don't have my encyclopedic.
This is why we need Kevin here.
Yeah, he would tell you.
I'm bad with names too, but Carcass is my favorite death metal band. So I either listened to that and I forgot about it and didn't like it, or I don't know. Maybe I'm slipping, but I love Carcass. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, this is something completely different.
We're hoping.
Because they did the Black Star thing, and they did like they were kind of going that direction where. So I think he did that to get them out of their system, because then he put out that new Carcass album after Gentleman's Pistol. So.
Yeah. Now that you're talking about it, I'm trying to. Maybe I'm making it up in my head, but it feels like something I heard of, but I didn't stick with me, whatever it was. Let's see. As I Lay Dying, I can't do that. Gojira is that old Gojira. I came around to it because they were headlining, but I came around to some real old Gojira, but it's still not my favorite band.
I like them a lot.
As I Lay Dying is terrible. As I Lay Dying is an embarrassment. 3 Inches Blood is good.
The thing with Gojira is they're one of the bands that people might consider new metal. That they're taking it to a different, to a newer way of doing things that I actually like. So they're like one of the very few.
Yeah, they have like a technical feel, but they can still bring a song together. So I used to dislike Gojira, and then I opened up my eyes a little bit to them. No Lamb of God for me.
Nope.
I've never really heard them, so I can't really say.
I got that.
I've seen them live a bunch of times, but it's like, and they're playing with someone else, or I'm going with friends that like them, but I don't know.
The drummer's a badass, and he played for Overkill, so
it's not bad. It's just I don't understand why people love it so much. I've been listening to a lot of sludgy doom stuff. So I like Primitive Man, and I don't know if you heard of these bands, but like Lord Mantis. There's a band called Indian I like a lot. Just the really really sludgy, disgusting stuff. Slow.
A new band that's been out. They've been out. Again, it's not. When I say new, I mean within the last 20 years. It's sort of a newer wave, but Baroness. Not sure.
Baroness is really good.
Yeah. In fact, their album was my favorite album of their album from last year. I think is probably, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this because you're probably gonna bring up something else that came out last year, but about my favorite album, the one
that yellow album. It was like yellow, right?
Yeah, it was.
Covers yellow.
Yeah. I don't understand why so many people like Five Finger Death Punch. They're awful.
No one does. They're like that band that somehow sells stadiums and everyone hates.
Nickelback, you mean? They're like Nickelback?
Yeah, exactly. They're the Nickelback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really listened to them. I mean, I've heard them and definitely heard of them.
Poppier, more catchier Slipknot is what Five Finger Death Punch is. I see why they're popular, but that's not my thing.
To me, they're kind of just like Godsmack. Like, I'm not into that shit.
Heavier than Godsmack, but same idea, I guess.
Yeah. Like Stained. I mean, if you have Cold, you don't need Stained.
Well, some people would say the other way around, right? Some people.
Yes, I was gonna say some people would. To me, like I get what you're saying there, because to me those bands are they're similar, kind of. But I mean, just in what they do. I have nothing to make a video about. I have content creators block. I hear you, man. I hear you. I totally hear you.
Talk about purple hair.
No. God, please no.
I think I sent you a message last night. I was really thinking about that last night. We're getting off topic here, but the purple hair fiasco, Last Jedi. What a horrible.
You want to talk about Star Wars? Create your own channel.
I know. I can't get you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done with Star Wars too?
No,
are you done with Star Wars?
No, I'm not done with it.
I can wait. I can wait.
I don't want to talk about Star Wars either because there's a lot of Star Wars hate. But who's purple hair? Which one are you talking about?
Holdo.
Oh, Holdo's purple.
Admiral Holdo is the worst possible.
Everyone. Yeah. Really. Everyone go watch Marriage Story so you can see those two actors have skills.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. And
like Laura Dern's a great actress. She is, hands down.
Yeah, Laura Dern was incredible in Marriage Story. Yeah. I'm being some in Trinity. I gotta go.
All right. We're probably getting ready to
this is great, dude.
It's already, we'll do it again.
Yeah, I love the music. I love this music thing, especially if I know what the topic is. But it's fun just to talk too, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and like I said, we're probably gonna change it up a little bit and start doing a ranking thing, and that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, rankings are always fun. That doesn't make anyone angry.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna take off. Hey, thanks,
right,
thanks for giving me the link. I'll see you next time.
Yep,
next Saturday, maybe
nice
next Sunday. Nice meeting you too.
All right. I purposely wore this shirt to see if anybody would call it out and anyone would recognize it. And I'll wait in the comments to see if anyone knows what it's from.
Well, that's what I'm wearing. That's what I was wearing this shirt for. Best band in the world, Bone Pony Malone.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I discovered another hardcore ripoff today, called a band called Ghoul. They're actually pretty good, but they're ripping off hardcore, obviously. Or they're ripping off Slipknot, who's ripping off Guar, who's ripping off hardcore.
Huh. Yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, we're gonna start. We're gonna change things up a little bit. We're gonna take a little note out of Fanjecture's book, if you will, and probably start holding some rankings on albums, bands, just different things like that. It'll be a little more interactive, a little more fun. So make sure you guys tune in here next week. Hopefully I can get everything sorted out and ready by next week. And hopefully soon we can get in our other good friend Kevin in here to the Goat Man to help, talk about some of these things, because he's very knowledgeable on his shit and he knows all of his stuff. I
bet he knows the name of the guitar players in Faith No More.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, I guarantee you he does. I know who it was. Trace Bruins. We already had that confirmed.
Right.
But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your weekend, but a little bit of it is left. And we'll see you all in the next video. Later.
Later.